You became a big star.
Go ahead.
Well,
Look.
no, I mean, whatever.
And you kind of messed around with stars.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't mess around with stars.
Yeah, I think you
Honey.
can name a few.
No, I'm not. No, I did not. I did not mess around with them. I knew them. You messed around with them.
When I tell you that I have a fantastic piece of content for you guys here today, you better listen up, because this one's going to be good. These types of content pieces, I call these the chef's kiss of content, all right? But before we get started into it, let me give you guys some runway, some description, all right? Now, growing up, the Maury show was widely known. I remember as a kid watching complete seasons of the Maury show, specifically when they were doing the shows on paternity testing, DNA testing. That's not how the Maury show started out, but then they found this particular niche in DNA testing, and then shoot, the ratings soared. Now, during that time, when I watched Maury as a child, I wasn't aware at the subtle jabs that they were throwing in. Now, during also this time is the proliferation of the feminist movement on mainstream media, but I wasn't aware at all of the subtle jabs that were being thrown in.
In the case of 10-month-old royalty, Daryl, you are not
at men. As I've grown older and I begin to understand a little bit more about how media works, and I also have a media platform myself, I began to call some of these things out. Like, I always found it so interesting on Maury how no matter what would happen, men would always receive boos unless the man just came out simping for the woman, even if the woman was on her 5th paternity test. But no matter what, women would come out, never receive any types of boos for their bad behavior, even if they're on their 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 8th, 20th paternity test. And I've always found that so weird. But if you think about media, right? It was a daytime talk show. Majority women were watching it because it was during the middle of the day. You know, all the men are out working, right? But it's majority women. So of course, why would women want to watch a piece of content where they feel judged for their bad decisions?
Alicia, why would you want to be with him? He doesn't want to be with you.
Because I love him, because we got 2 kids together, and we've been married for 5 years. That's something.
5 years of my life wasted.
You're gonna sit here and say like you don't love me or nothing? Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
In the case of 1-year-old Logan, John, you are not the father. We are done! We are done! You will be my lawyer tomorrow morning!
But I would also think as an adult, like, how does Maury, a man, have a show where he could just throw men under the bus like that? Well, we've also never heard him talk long form. But what if I told you guys that Maury Povich not only has a podcast, but has a podcast of less than 1,000 subscribers? Now, this demonstrates the power of YouTube, that so many people, even mainstream media figures, are getting on this platform to do content. But this piece of content is content that he did with his wife, and I found it so important because Maury talks to his wife in a way that lets you know that he don't like that 304 BS. We need to get extremely active on this one. So without further ado, now Maury Povich is 86 years old. Yeah, I cannot believe it. His wife is Connie Chung. I didn't even know this either. Decorated journalist. Connie is 78. Let's go.
He was really enjoying his oats, you know.
So anyway, he became a huge star in Washington.
Maury, how long is your podcast?
As long as I feel like it.
Really? Okay.
Okay, I'll get to the end.
Yeah.
She became a big star in Hollywood.
Hold on.
You.
Oh, man.
When you went out to California.
Wait.
The news.
Wait, Maury. That's what I'm talking about, Maury. You standing on business, Maury? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Whenever I feel like I love it. Now, this is such a contrast. I did content yesterday of Michelle Obama talking about Barack Obama cowering in a corner. No, Michelle, no, I'll never touch the thermostat again. Maury, get up on here. Whenever I feel like it. Don't you understand who I am? I'm Maury. Huh? Sorry. Let's just keep going. It's not even the main purpose. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You became a big star,
Go ahead.
Well,
Look.
no, I mean, whatever.
and you kind of messed around with stars.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh.
you didn't?
No, I didn't mess around with stars.
Yeah, I think you
Honey.
can name a few.
No, I'm not. No, I did not. I did not mess around with them. I knew them. You messed around with them. Okay, shall I start talking?
No,
No. Say,
It's in the book.
yeah, it is. But
say no more.
You know
Yeah,
what my
but-
sister said about Warren Beatty?
yes, he was
Every
the
woman who came to California had to go through him. It was like an immigration system.
That's crazy.
pretty good line, huh? Lynn Povich, thank you, Lynn.
Yeah.
He loved Lynn.
Yo. Did Maury Povich, the young brother who has forgiven the tantamount sins of thousands among thousands of young 304s, did he just out his wife for being a 304? Now, mind you, the context of this is they've been married longer than I've been alive. They've been married for 41 years. So they're talking about something that happened 50 years ago. But even still, though, he remembers. Huh? Who did she go through? What did he say? Like Marlon Brando or some shit? My bad. It was Warren Beatty, who's right now 88 years old. Looked like he got married in 1992. When he was like 60. This brother, what he said, he was the immigration. He was the immigration line. My man was the Ellis Island of Hollywood back in the day. Damn, Connie Chung, you have not lived that one down for 50 years. All right, but let's get back up in it.
He
Yeah,
loved
Warren
women journalists.
Yeah. Not just you.
No,
All of them.
Okay. And then you messed with an eagle. And we're not talking Philadelphia Eagles here.
when I went out with an eagle,
The music group?
I went to his place,
Yeah.
and he said I play in a band. I mean, I
You didn't know who he was.
no, and and I said, why don't you play? There was an upright piano there, and I said, why don't you play one of your songs?
Connie
And he
knew.
started to play Hotel California.
Hotel California.
Whoa!
I know
I
that.
know that
Right.
And then I called you because you were living in Philadelphia at the time, and I said, hey, I went out with an eagle, and you thought I meant the Philadelphia Eagles. Jeez.
They were not
Right.
exclusively dating.
Why? You don't think there was a Philadelphia Eagle in your future? No?
Not in L.A.
Okay. All right.
What would they be doing in L.A.?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
But that was it. And we dated during those years, but it was not exclusive if everybody wants
Okay.
to figure out. Nobody was cheating on anybody.
But, I mean, you wouldn't call it cheating because we weren't
I said
committed.
it wasn't
He
exclusive.
just said that,
Yeah.
woman.
Jesus.
Come on.
But you couldn't
Right.
even remember the first names, let
right,
alone
stop.
the last names of the women that you were with.
Stop,
I mean, you had to
Connie.
chew off your arm. You know, it's the old coyote issue.
You know,
the-
I never got that line. You keep.
Huh?
The only way you can get out of the grip of a coyote trap is to cut off your arm. And so when you suddenly find yourself, you don't know this line.
Well, I've heard you say it, but I've never really got it.
Because you wake up the next morning and your arm is under someone's head, and you don't know how you got there. You have to chew off your arm. Why are you looking at me so quizzically?
Because
Because I don't understand it.
it doesn't make
You
sense.
still don't get
I
it?
think it's a dumb story.
It's
Oh, well,
an analogy.
think about it. Think about it.
You know, I'm not going to think about a lot of the things that come across the table with you.
oh,
You know what, Maury? I don't think it's a good idea for us to do a program together.
oh.
We never attempt. Oh, well, we
I
did.
know.
We did
Yeah, we
one.
did. But you know why?
Why? Because you talk too much.
No, because I don't want it to encroach on our personal relationship.
What personal relationship?
Oh, come on.
Well, look, quite frankly, I want to tell you, I don't care whether they hear it or not. You've been really shitty to me lately.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think with your post-book stress disorder it's kind
Books
of
right there.
filtering down on me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
They
I accept your apology.
okay. It's the first and the last apology you'll get from me.
The first and last, huh? It's crazy how the lack of accountability is well up into the 80s. But jokes aside, though, there's something endearing about watching a conversation like this, especially knowing that, again, they've been married longer than I've been alive. But I just think it is special to watch Maury communicate on this platform of like nobody watching, and you get to see his personality in the fact that he's checking and sunning his damn like this is what, you know what I mean? We didn't see this at all during the Maury show is what I'm trying to say. But underneath the guise of trying to console these 304, Maury knew what was up. But it's made super clear, not only by the way that he's checking her, but then at the same time, you know, reminding her about her tumultuous history back in the 60s and the 70s. Let's finish up.
Is this the complaint department? Can I complain about you?
Sure,
You've been very cranky.
I have.
Yes. Very cranky.
Didn't want to be.
But, well, it depends on
Maybe
how...
it's because you can't hear.
What?
All right,
boy.
we're going to play this game. They want this game.
Oh, what
All
We
right.
have a game here.
a game.
All right, guys, I'm gonna leave a link to this down in the description box down below. Again, the video barely has any views, any comments. It's like no one on the internet has discovered this video, but you discovered it right over here. So go up there, watch the content, leave some comments, tell them MTR sent you. Isn't it crazy how we come full circle after all of the content that we have done? Maury may know who I am now. That's so crazy to me. Yo, I would love to be able to interview Maury. I just want to ask him a question. Okay, now that it's over, my guy, all right? Let us know, all right? Let us know. Shit, some of the DNA tests that you did back in the day, some of those people, like, the kids is like 30, 40 years old now. Just let us know. How did you really feel about it? All right, listen, you've done damn near $1 billion in box set DVDs. It's okay. It's over now, all right? All right? You got all the money that you... But let us know. How is it that you really feel? Tell us. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content here today. Thank you again for stopping by. Shout out again to my MT Army assassins, my generals, my captains, and one love to the beautiful ladies down in the MTRs. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I salute you. Until next time, you two. Peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber screaming period and yes. You a low down dirty woman if you try to get knocked up by a high value man.